Rick Ross, I don't know where he got his dope from, but it's alleged that he was tricked and got it by the CIA, which we know for sure that Oliver North, Ronald Reagan, and them bought cocaine down there because they used to have Ronald Reagan's face on it. But a lot of dudes like Little Tommy and them dudes I grew up with, they wasn't getting their dope from the CIA or the FBI. They was getting their dope directly from the Colombians. Like Griselda, what's her name? Griselda Blanco or something like that. I met her before in the hood. I didn't even know who she was.
You met Griselda Blanco.
And I was like, she was coming to get some money from my partner. I just got out of a situation and she pulled up in a limousine, Lincoln. And I just got to say this. I hope her sons don't be mad at me, but I said this on another interview. But that bitch was bad than a motherfucker. She had the nasty, sexy stockings on. And I was sitting in the car with my boy, who y'all will be hearing from soon. And I was like, man, who is this bitch? Because he had a bunch of bread he was giving it to her. And I was like, he was like, man, that's Griselda. I said, what? I was like, man, who is this bitch? I know she heard me because she was fine. She wasn't like y'all seeing the pictures all fat. When I seen her, dude, she was a 50. Bad, red bottle, and not red bottle, high heel shoes, polite. You would have never known she was the drug lady. A lot of dudes getting their dope from her in the hood, just like the boy up north was getting it from her.
And she was doing directly. She was
direct, pull straight up. We can remember when the police 77 used to ride around in Grand Nationals with little bitty antennas in the back window with a cowboy hat back there hiding the antenna.
Now, what year was this that she?
This was in the 80s.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true because she, in the movie, it says she moved out to L.A. because she had to escape all the heat in New York. She was running all through, California.
She put
basically.
Carlos Escobar in the game.
She was rolling through like Orange County up through the north.
All that. I seen her in the hood on 76 and Broadway, across the street from the police station, at the liquor store when she pulled up. I was trying to crack her. I didn't give a fuck about all that. She was a killer. I do now because he probably would have knocked me in my sleep because I'd have been kissing on her pretty ass at the time. She would have been in love with me. But she, I've always had a thing for females like that.
Yeah.
I don't do it no more.
Yeah.
But I've always had a thing for sisters that was gangster like that. It was a gang of them growing up when we was coming up that y'all would never know nothing about. That didn't play no games.
And that was her name, Griselda?
Yep.
Back then?
Like the little brother that's a skater. What's his name? His mama was in the dope game. I think his name
Mosley.
She ain't no punk. You could
heard about her.
You play with her if you want to. Probably up to this day. Them was real live gangsters.
Now, was she, I've seen her. She's had a couple of interviews out there. Was she as big as Griselda?
In her own lane. Because Griselda come from one of them countries with a dope at. But I bet you Griselda knew who she was. But she was one of them quiet dope dealers, but loud. The coldest one I see, and shout out to Ray from Pasadena. Free Ray, Doc Holliday. God bless his son, Doc Holliday Jr. from the 30s. 2 thumbs up. But Ray and them wasn't no joke neither, man. But them brothers was fair, and they need to be freed right now. They've been in there too long. And they can come out and make a difference in their community. And if Ray and them, God bless their soul, and Doc Holliday Sr. was out there when them fires took place, oh, you can best believe everything in Pasadena would have been rebuilt immediately. They didn't play that. Them brothers like that, Ray and Lil Tommy's and Freeway Ricks and John Boys and Peter Cody's and Manpower and Renee McGower and, the godmother Watts, Birdie Joe and, them people didn't play having homeless people eating out the trash. Ozone and Third World and Bo and them. They didn't, if you was a black person around them, you couldn't be around them shitting on yourself and eating out the trash. Even if you was a smoker, you're going to be working one of these rock houses. See these bars you see on these windows like this? These bars ain't on there because they was worrying about breaking in because you knew better than to break in Miss Johnson house in the days. These bars was for decoration after the dope man started labeling his dope house based on the color of the bars on his window or the design. So Freeway Rick and them had their houses behind the freeway, on the side of the freeway. So they had a certain bar thing on their house. So when you go to look for a dope house in the city, you see a set of green bars. Every house that had green bars was them niggas' spots. That's the respect level that was there. Had nothing to do with breaking in. Absolutely nothing. Then it became a home decoration fashion trend, sort of say.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
I can remember they had a crew when I watched the movie Training Day. And I be seeing Denzel and them in the same Monte Carlo with the antenna. And they had a crew of brothers from all over. They used to steal Rolexes. I ain't gonna mention the hoods, but y'all know who y'all are. I love y'all. And they had another jeweler in the valley that had the Rolexes, a white dude. But he would leave his door open and make himself look vulnerable to be robbed. And then when you run in there to rob him, LAPD, the one that they did that movie on Training Day, it was called the SSU, Special Surveillance Unit. They would watch you commit crimes. When they see you kept beating cases, they would watch you commit crimes. And then at a certain point, they just kill you during the crime. It was a special unit. They had to dismantle them. That's where the movie Training Day came from.
They say it came from Rafael Perez too.
Rafael Perez is late. That's bullshit.
They said his character was based on
These
that guy.
dudes came from Daryl Gates. And long before Rafael Perez. These dudes was underneath Sherman Block from Wayside. These dudes in Perez, you're late. SSU, Special Surveillance Unit, they used to follow your ass and watch you commit murder, watch you gangbang, watch you rob, and then catch you one day doing it and murder you. That's the crew I'm talking about. I don't know shit about no Perez. No. Perez, you couldn't hang with these dirty police that was coming up when we was coming up. Firestone and Lennox and all them. We didn't see a high-speed chase until Rodney King because they didn't play that. They'd beat you to death. You see what happened to him when they caught him.
Yeah. Now, what do you feel about this Big U situation? Um, don't you feel they're over exaggerate? They're taking truth, exaggerating it, and do you believe this man? Because I don't believe this man was doing an illegal operation um, behind his nonprofit organization. You know, the organization does uh, a lot of real activity in the community. There's a lot of kids in the program. There's a lot of uniforms. There's trophies. There's ceremonies. There's games. There's different
Well, more
age.
than anything, when
And
you
none
have
of
a
these kids, if they don't have money to pay for this or that, they don't have to pay. It's pretty much all taken care of, and all of this costs, you know, and it's a. What do you feel? I mean, you know the brother,
well,
and
first of all, we helped bring Big U into the intervention game, along with many others.
mhm,
And when you have a nonprofit 501c3, there's accountability for that. You got to have a file cabinet in your office that's accessible to the auditor that can't be locked and he can come in and get it 24 hours a day. So there has to be accountability. So leading up to whatever circumstances, may Allah be with the brother, leading up to those circumstances, obviously he must have been in good standards with that particular group that was funding it. The money that the city gives you, there's limitations on what you can do with it. And then there's only so much to go around for so many different organizations. The people who should be taking care of the black community should be held accountable to put something back. I only know one Big U. I was in prison with his father on the 4 yard in Old Folsom. I only know one Big U. And that's the gentle giant dude I know that was doing the gang and the football stuff. I know his children and his wife. I don't have an opinion on what he's doing. I'm not a legal scholar. So I can't give an opinion on something that I don't have any points and authority involved in. Do I wish anybody was in jail? Absolutely not. Do I wish any activist was in jail? Because I keep in mind one thing. This could be me or you, not just Big U. You and I could become the next Tupac murdered in the streets, or a Nipsey Hussle, or a Biggie Smalls, or a podcaster doing his job. So I don't have an opinion like these other podcast guests have about people. That's not my lane. My lane is to continue being Malik. My lane is to continue trying my best with nothing to do what I can with the help of other people. This is not a Malik show.
Yeah.